everybody, it is time for another Farm Fact Friday. And last week, if you remember, we talked about the power of lightning and how it can help create usable nitrogen for corn. So I do have a helper today, so hopefully he cooperates, but we are going to talk more about things as they relate to rain. So we're going to actually talk about the idea of water erosion. So water has the power to shape our land, and we're going to show this today through a little experiment with just plain soil, which is what we have in this container here. In the second container, we have the same amount of soil, but we have residue on top, and that residue is made up of leaves. And then in the third container, we have two plants with soil in that as well. So we're going to simulate water as the rainfall, and below on the white, you should be able to see the difference in what's going on from these three different containers. So if you want to help me, buddy, I'm gonna pour some water on this first container, and Bo's gonna help me on the second one. So we're just gonna lightly water these as if it was rain. Keep moving back and forth until we kind of get to the top. We've had a lot of rain here in Northwest Ohio. Some of the fields look pretty saturated. Hopefully you can see the tile working within those fields. Okay, keep going, buddy. So as you can see, what's running off on mine, there's a lot of soil going with it. Okay, got more.
Can I do it, Mom?
Okay, and from what's running off in this middle one where the leaves are the residue, there's still some soil coming off, but not nearly as much as the first one where there's nothing in terms of those things holding it down. So I'm gonna clear off this whiteboard here. We'll see what this last one looks like. Grab another thing of water. Yep. So this is Rainfall. Oh, slow down. Slow down, buddy. So, okay, that was the torrential downpour and didn't quite show what we wanted it to, but the point here is that when rain comes down on just soil itself, that water has the power of washing that soil away. When we have residue on top, such as leaves or grass, those things help to hold that dirt in place. And even better, when we have a thing like a plant, that is actually going to hold that dirt where it's supposed to go. Oh, back there, buddy. And the reason that it does that is we're going to look at what the plant has here. So I'll come up closer so you can see. These plants have a root structure. And this root structure, as you can tell, is holding all of the soil right in there. And you may wonder where exactly please stop. You may wonder where exactly the water's going. Well, if you squeeze this, water's coming out of there. So the nature of the plants is very important to keep not only the soil where it should go, but also to keep that soil wet so that it has the nutrients to grow from the water. So I'm gonna do a little aerial shot here. If you can see behind me in this field, let me see if I can switch my screen around here. Okay. So if you could see this field right behind me, I couldn't get back there because it's so wet, but there is a green strip running through that field. Well, without this green strip that has not been worked, if they were to work that up and allow all the rainwater. That's a great example of how the water could change the shape of the field. And we don't want that soil to leave the field and go into the creek. We want it to stay in place. So what you see there is what was originally planted as wheat, and it just wasn't worked in or harvested or anything, and now it's kind of a grass weedy patch, and that helps protect any of that soil from moving away from the field and staying put. So residue, of course, like I said a couple times now, it could really affect where our soil goes. So we do things like just a minute, buddy. We do things like plant cover crops to help keep that soil where it should go. And let's see what else. And then we have those grassy type patches within our field. So if you're driving by a field and you see maybe a natural water path, that may be erosion at work. We do not want to see this because it deteriorates the soil, and then it hurts, of course, our crops. So, and if you plant in that area and all of that soil is moving, you could also be losing your seed at the same time. So a very important concept. Farmers have to think about this when they are working their ground and noticing those areas that may not be tillable, and doing their part to conserve that soil and doing good management to, of course, make sure that the water stays where it should. And if it's finding a progression out of the field, that they take care to slow that down. So hopefully you enjoyed today's Farm Fact Friday. We got a little bit dirty. Experiment Live didn't go quite as planned, but you could kind of see the difference of what residue and plants actually do to keep that soil in place. So with that, everyone have a great rest of your Friday, a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to everyone who has made our country what it is today, and you guys have a great night. Take care.